Right, so what we have right here, this is a war memorial for the black soldiers, Caribbean soldiers of World War I and World War II. So they put it in Brixton, they only unveiled this in 2017, and this is so small and this is just hidden away against the wall. Right. So much that people walk past it every day and they don't even notice it's here. They don't even notice it's here. Meanwhile, when you go to our present one, they've got theirs in central London, where there's this massive,
I don't think there was, it's like tall, like.
Theirs is at least 12 foot, 10, 11 foot.
It's like almost like a light bulb. And they give us this small shit here. And this is filmed that way. That's the main street. And this is the way to the alley, to our back road. And this is where the World War II memorial is, where they honor servicemen, black servicemen from the Caribbean. If you could come right here, Rob, you see where it says Africa and the diaspora has fought. Right, African and Caribbean, they always put Africans with us. Look here, over 2 million men, 1914 to 1945, provided in the 2 world wars. Come on, man. Now, they name all these heathens over us. You see what I'm saying? But here they say African and Caribbean. Even this is a disrespect to us. Right. Yeah, man, what you were saying about how they sold the medals?
Yeah, so basically, after the war, what happened? They didn't want to give black people jobs. So these black servicemen that fought in the war, what happened to them? They became so poor because they couldn't get jobs. So they became so poor and they couldn't get jobs because why? Our oppressor wasn't giving out no jobs. The war was over. He said to these servicemen, yo, the war's over, go home. So they used them to get their limbs blown off. This is what they gave them for them getting limbs blown off. So now, the black soldiers of World War I and World War II, they couldn't get jobs, so they had to sell their war medals. They had to sell all their medals. They had to sell their outfit, even though they fought in World War I and World War II. So they ain't got the medals to show for it. Why? Because they sold it. And what happens? Maybe some oppressor that never was in the army brought it and is walking around stunting like he actually was in the army when he wasn't. So this is what they get for losing limbs and whatnot. And also another thing, there was a man that was in the military called Charles Wotton. He was a serviceman in the army. After the army, what happened? Our oppressors went to his spot, burnt his house down, chased him out his house, and threw him in the Thames, not the Thames, like threw him in the one in the docks in Liverpool, and hit him on his head with a brick, and he passed out and he drowned.
And they hit him on his head, but he was trying to come back up. They threw him in the water. He trying to come back up to climb up to live, and they threw a brick down on his head and made him drown to death. And he was a World War II vet. World War I vet.
He was a veteran. He helped them win the war, and that's how they treat him. And that's how they treat all black people. They'll go to his spot, even if you're involved, they'll drag all black people out of their house and burn down their places and whatnot. And then the thanks that you get is just this right here. Now, if you know anything about Remembrance Day, what does the Queen do? She goes and puts a wreath. She puts a wreath on their monument. She puts a wreath on it. They do the 21 gun salute. So this one right here in Brixton, the Queen ain't never been to this one. Right. No one ain't never been to this one. What you will see right here is they only unveiled this in 2017. So I'll tell you this right now. It took them almost over 100 years. World War I was 1919. So it took almost 100 years for them to give you this little monument that makes no sense.
Right. So this wasn't here all the time.
No, I said unveiled it in 2017. So they give you this little monument. Also, if you turn the camera around to that thing there, that thing right there that no one will know what it is. There's a sister by the name of Cherry Gross who was murdered by the police while she was shot and paralyzed, and then she died from complications like 29 years later.
Zoom in on the thing, on the name at the top. You see it?
So she was paralyzed for 29. She was paralyzed for all them years, and then after she died, like 20-something years after she died, the policeman came out and apologized, said Barbara was wrong. Nobody went to jail for it, but all they did give you is this. When we'd rather have our sister alive.
And that looked like a hangman's arm, right. Like a gallows.
No,
it's shaped like a gallows, like something you would hang somebody from. Like, what the hell is that? I show her family and get shit from it. That's crazy. Hey, so what dumb goodbye. This is, boy, this is where you get real black history.
My whole life was trying to find something to follow. Had loyalty, every man tried to borrow. Felt pain and a lot of sorrow. Got betrayed, so packed, I didn't even have my heart broke. Living confused, about to lose hope. Cops got me on the side of the road like a sideshow. Need an antidote before I croak. Now I'm setting fire to rhythm man blues for this guitar smoke. Rebel with no cause, trying to find direction. The world got me vexed. Picked up a bad liquor habit that's hereditary from oppression. Felt like my life was on fire, trying to find an exit. Now look, 10 G's plus a good wreck. Sometimes a follower is a soldier, trying to find a good shepherd. Plus when you in hell, how do you excel? Wisdom the breath of life, I don't believe in fairy tale. Listen well to what I tell. No calling can cause pain, something that a rebel knows very well. Can't you tell I was sent from the Lord? Got a tongue like a two-edged